Let me start off by saying that I have massive respect for Jeff Cavaliere over at Athlean-X. I've been following Athlean-X since like 2013, if I can remember correctly. He's definitely established himself as an authority figure in this field with the amount of experience and knowledge and hard work that he exudes through his material. So this video is not to demean Jeff by any means, because I actually like his content. I enjoy it. I think it's actually very informative, and his approach towards training, I very much respected. That being said, he recently published a video titled Hardgainer Eating Plan Full Day Plus Tips. For those of you who don't know, a hardgainer is someone who has trouble putting on mass or weight. You could probably guess why that is, right? I mean, you know what it is. Not eating enough, okay? It's not getting enough calories. These men or women are basically people who say things like, I'm eating everything that's said, but I can't gain weight. Ah! Which is pretty much the opposite of people who say things like, I don't understand why I can't lose any weight, as they are consistently eating into a caloric surplus or somewhere around their maintenance calories, hence no change in weight. So this video was about hard gainers and some quick points on how to get in those pesky calories in. Jeff makes some great points, such as nutrient-dense foods aren't necessarily the most calorically dense food, and how consumption of nutrient-dense foods can be an issue for hard gainers due to their high volume density but low caloric value. Nonetheless, hard gainers still need to get in their macronutrients, their micronutrients, and phytonutrients in if they want to obtain optimal health and performance in the gym. That's pretty much the gist of Jeff's video. And Jeff goes on to give 5 tips, which are solid till he gives the hard gainers sample meal plan. This is where shit took a massively wrong turn. Before we dive into this example that is being advocated, allow me to elaborate why this hard gainers sample meal plan is a horrific model to use. Most hard gainers who are unable to overcome this hurdle or this issue of not being able to gain weight are essentially beginners. That's okay. I'm just saying, I've never heard of an advanced lifter or an intermediate lifter who cannot gain weight without knowing why, or what are the proper steps to take to resolve this issue. I would argue every intermediate lifter knows what they have to do to put some weight on to support their performance in the gym or field. You just have to eat more. Hence why this video is directed towards beginners, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with making a video for beginners. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. The issue is with the types of food that Jeff is advocating to eat in this hard gainers sample meal plan that he's constructed, that these beginners will be consuming, that will have detrimental impacts on their health later in their lives. The foundation that is being set with an example like this is completely bogus and will lead to people getting chronic disease if they follow a meal plan that is similar to this their whole lives. I'll show you here in a few moments, but first let's put everything into chronometers so we have a better understanding of the foods Jeff used in his example. So I've put everything into chronometer, and just about anyone following this meal plan will surely gain weight. Kudos to Jeff for emphasizing the caloric surplus, as I calculated about 4,500 calories. So this would definitely be fit for someone who is an athlete and not your average everyday gym bro just trying to pump up his chest and biceps, as this is a bunch of calories to consume even for a hard gainer. So looking at this from a macronutrient perspective, the main issue I see here is the amount of protein for this meal plan. I calculated about 259 grams of protein, and I was being conservative with inputting the serving sizes for each food entry. So if you've been in this lifting game for a while, the topic of protein requirements is one that is discussed or comes up quite frequently. And to sum it up, if you train like an athlete or if you do resistance training, you're gonna need about 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or just under 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And of course, this is assuming that this individual is at a healthy body fat percentage. So in simple terms, 259 grams of protein, as shown by this sample meal plan, would be suitable for an athlete who does, resistance training, who weighs about 325 pounds and happens to be at a healthy body fat percentage. I don't know about you, but I've never met a Hardgainer who weighs 325 pounds. This is just a disgusting amount of protein that is definitely not necessary. Additionally, the majority of the protein that is being sourced in this meal plan is coming from animal flesh and animal secretions like milk, eggs, cheese, and whey. Consuming high amounts of animal protein stimulates inflammatory signals and can damage the kidneys over time by inducing a state of hyperfiltration, which is only one issue among many other issues, such as boosting IGF-1 levels when consuming animal protein, which is associated with an increased risk of prostate cancer. And if you're a man really looking to up his testosterone levels, then a high protein meal plan like this one will potentially have the opposite effect, because high protein meals have shown to raise cortisol levels, the stress hormone, which will have a negative effect on your testosterone levels. Let's also not forget about the heterocyclic amines that will be ingested when eating these pieces of cooked dead birds and dead cows, which of course will increase cancer risk. Are you disheartened yet? Give me a sec. Much better. Just bear with me. I know some of this info I'm giving you may have a sort of negative revealing effect, as it may go against everything you've read or been told or believed in regards to this nutrition and training paradigm. Believe me, I know how you feel, as I was there myself not too long ago, but it is necessary you have some more information so you can truly get the most out of your training inside and outside of the gym in the long term. So let's get back into this Hardgainer meal plan. So this meal plan has an emphasis on whole milk consumption, as it's listed 3 times a day here. Now, this is one of the most common misconceptions in human society in regards to the supposed benefits of whole milk, or any type of milk for that matter. If there's one food group that I can strongly 100% recommend to never consume, it is all dairy. And that includes children too, by the way. Think about this for a second. Milk is meant to grow a baby calf into a giant cow in a matter of months. Now, I'm just speculating here, but do you think the contents that make up milk are designed or made for human consumption, if this is the sole food necessary to grow a baby calf into a giant cow that weighs a few hundred pounds? I completely understand if you're resistant towards the dogmatic societal doctrine that has been engraved within your current potential belief structure, so forget about my opinion and let's look at the actual facts. Loads of saturated fat, dietary cholesterol, and a giant shot of hormones to lower your testosterone levels makes milk does a body good claim absolutely false. More like makes a body more weak and feminizing, as shown here in this study proving milk consumption lowers testosterone levels minutes after consuming it in men. What about strong bones though? Well, that galactose, which is found in milk, raises serum galactose levels, which diminishes bone mineral density, as it is seen with people who suffer from galactosemia, which is the inability to detoxify galactose. But if you're not a person who suffers from galactosemia, this doesn't mean that you aren't at risk of diminishing your bone mineral density through the consumption of milk, as cohort studies have shown a positive relation with higher fracture incidence in women and a higher mortality rate with both men and women who drank just 3 glasses of milk a day. Oh yeah, how many glasses did Jeff have in his example again? 3? Oops! So to wrap this up, look at the amount of saturated fat and dietary cholesterol that is involved with this Hardgainer meal plan example. Over 721 grams of dietary cholesterol and over 50 grams of saturated fat. Shall we do this again? Alright, well, here we go. Dietary saturated fat and dietary cholesterol raise LDL cholesterol. Anything above 70 milligrams per deciliter increases the progression of atherosclerosis. More atherosclerosis equals more coronary artery disease, which includes heart disease, which is the leading cause of death worldwide. So all that dietary cholesterol and saturated fat from the whole milk, whole eggs, chicken, cheese, and turkey and steak are only contributing to increasing your chances of progressive atherosclerosis to a much further extent, among many other unhealthful issues that these foods cause. And one last thing, that turkey right there, if that's turkey slices from the deli, then that's a group 1 carcinogen. So yeah, just giving you a heads up. Making foods like these staples is the wrong approach. How good is your squat gonna be if you have to be tied to a hospital bed because they have to remove your cancer-ridden prostate? How good is your cardio going to be if your heart has to work twice as hard as it normally does because your arteries are filled with plaque from all that dietary saturated fat and dietary cholesterol you've consumed through the years? How well are you going to perform in the sack with the Mrs. or Mr.? I'm not judging, my friend, whatever floats your boat, if your manhood is more limp than this. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. And I really don't wish this was true, but atherosclerosis causes limp dicks. This meal plan does provide plenty of calories, loads of protein, and a giant amount of nutrients, but with all this comes loads of toxins, hormones, dietary saturated fat, and dietary cholesterol, which will set up anyone who follows a plan like this for a future that is going to be riddled with disease. Let me emphasize this again. I respect Jeff Cavaliere for his knowledge and his hard work in regards to his athletic training. But his example in regards to this hard training meal plan is just completely flat out wrong. Now, he did say nutrient dense food, and not once in the video did he say these foods were healthy, which leads me to believe that he may know this already. Or maybe he doesn't and is drinking the meat flavored Kool-Aid like 97% of the global population. I don't know. Either way, if you're in this game called life, that may include lifting weights or any type of lifelong athletic endeavor, then you'll reconsider a meal plan like this one because your life may end very quickly. And as a final note, this whole idea that you have to eat loads of protein and it has to be sourced from animals or the secretions of an animal is simply not true. It's these type of diets that are gonna get people sick, and it's not necessary. This bro knowledge just needs to stop. It really needs to stop because it's gonna lead to chronic disease later in life. And that's about all I have to say in regards to this topic. I hope I didn't get too sciencey on you. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know in the comment sections down below. But in the meantime, if you could please do your boy a favor, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so I can keep you updated on the weekly. I'm the Natural Hulkster. I want to thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next one.